Hey, welcome to Super Switch Heads, the premier Nintendo podcast on the internet. Hey, my name is Matthew. We also have co-host David.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And we have two special guests, Adam Surwa.
Hi.
And Jordan Willis.
Hello.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having
pleasure.
us.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, guys.
Dude.
Patrick is unfortunately out this week. He's doing some work-related things. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah, he's out in the rain and the muck and the mire.
Yeah, in this episode, we have a jam-packed episode. We're going to talk about news and rumors, the Monolith Software hiring, Splatfest coming up, free Twitch Prime, some Joker, some leaks, as well as get into our episode focus of today where we talk and discuss undiscovered indie games or hidden gems. Mm-hmm. David, do you want to kick us off with some news?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think before we get into the news stuff, I just kind of want to just break in the ice with you guys. What was y'all's favorite April Fool's prank from April 1st? Did you guys see some of those? There are some good ones.
There's two of them. One that made me very mad.
Mm-hmm.
That was somebody posting a fake link to Animal Crossing update for Switch.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was basically like, oh, it's getting the same treatment as Metroid. It's getting pushed back to 2021.
Yeah, and they said they were restarting it as like an amiibo festival, like spiritual successor.
Just like everything that could be infuriating. That and also the prank of the century, PWR Babies, not actually a wrestling show for babies.
That's right. Yeah. So if
really
you guys don't
mad.
know, Adam is involved in PWR. That's Party World Wrestling.
Hail Mother World!
Yeah, dude, those shows are really great. If you ever get a
yeah.
chance, you guys should make
So
it
much
out.
fun.
Dude, PWR is the best fucking
It's
time.
great.
We've all
Yeah,
been.
dude,
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah,
Every time.
we'll start our PWR cast next.
There's plenty of Switch heads.
Yeah. There's a ton of PWR guys in the Switch Heads group. It's
That
pretty
makes
cool.
a lot of sense, yeah.
And then you guys see any April Fool's pranks you like?
I'm a fan of Think Geek. They do really cool stuff every year. They
Yeah.
had I'm looking at it now. They have a Kirby Roomba.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I want it.
That's
wait.
sexy. Look at that.
Would buy.
All right,
Day
Google
one.
that. It's not a video podcast, so you're going to have to Google it.
The only one I really saw was the IGN one about it was like a fake Nintendo Direct, which I thought was real lame because it was like we're bringing Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker, and I'm like, no, I would like that. That'd be tight.
Yeah, but then
So-
it was like Donkey Kong Divorce Simulator or whatever. It was like all this crazy stuff. I think my favorite personal one that I saw was like this insane one of that mobile Splatoon game. Did you guys see that one?
No.
It was like
No.
it was called like Splatoon Island, and it looks super realistic. It's
Yeah.
by this dude. I forget his name. I think it's like Matt Mel or something like that. But he does like a bunch of like weird Splatoon hentai stuff on his Patreon. So like everybody was like, wow, I thought this was going to be way more NSFW than it was. But it was like, it looked amazing. It was like a mobile game where it's like the adults, like adult inklings go, all the kids are playing Turf War, and it's just like they're all on an island, and like it was basically Splatoon Extreme Beach Volleyball is what it was.
Not gonna
And
lie,
I didn't realize I wanted it until I saw it.
I saw that and I thought it was real. I'm just now realizing that is not real.
Well, it was at the very end of the video. It like said coming this thing, and then it like flipped around and it said April Fools, and it was like, this is not a real game. So it was like. But anyway, hopefully Splatoon hires this weird hentai guy, or Nintendo hires this weird hentai guy to make some Splatoon games for us.
We don't even know his Patreon or his DeviantArt. We just call him Hentai Guy.
We call him hentai guy. Just Google hentai guy. You'll find him. You'll find a lot of other stuff too. All right, folks, let's go ahead and move straight into the news for today. We got some crazy news from the past week. We're going to be going right into it. I think first things first, let's talk about the elephant in the room. There was a job posting listed on Monolith Soft's website. Monolith Soft, obviously the Japanese developer of Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torn of the Golden Country.
That's right. There's no end to the amount of games that they have been working on. They posted that apparently they are going to be doing some hiring for a 3D Zelda game that they're going to be working on. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Monolith Soft actually helped out quite a bit with Breath of the Wild, specifically in the terrain and the kind of open world aspects of kind of making the open world. Nintendo hired quite a few Xenoblade X developers basically to come and work. So a lot of people are kind of speculating that Monolith Soft is going to be kind of taking the lion's share of the production for this Zelda sequel. Just before we kind of get your guys' thoughts on this, looks like on the site they're looking to hire technical artists, programmers, planners, designers, and a project manager. So a lot of people. Looks like they're really trying to get a big team going. What do you guys think about that?
That's great. I mean, they were really good at building large, lush worlds, and Breath of the Wild was one, and Xenoblade Chronicles is. So just seeing what they want to do with the next franchise or the next iteration in the franchise, curious.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Yeah. You've been playing some Breath of the Wild recently.
I've never stopped playing Breath of the Wild for more than it's maybe I've gone like 2 weeks without playing it since I first got it back in March. This time last year. Great. Give me fucking more of it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's perfect. It's the best Zelda game, and I never thought I would say that about anything that is in Ocarina.
Yeah, you'd say it's straight up your favorite Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah. We had a whole episode where we were talking about kind of stuff that we would like to see in a sequel, so this kind of plays into some of that. I mean, you're the Xenoblade Chronicles fan here in the room. What did you think when you saw this listing?
The biggest thing that I saw is I wonder if Breath of the Wild is on Bionis, which is a deep Xenoblade cut.
Oh no, we get it. We get what you're saying.
There's just crickets in the room right now. Everything's mechanical in some case, like all the life is on the back of another larger life form. Right. And I really like those elements that it really has, like gods and small. All of the strong characters are also small, but they're also the strongest. And I really like those aspects. And if they bring that element to Breath of the Wild, that'd be fucking tight.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I mean, looking at like the kind of the people that they're trying to hire, it kind of looks like a lot of these could be for environment design. Like say, I mean, it would make sense, especially if Nintendo already has the engine running and they've got their team of writers and all their character designers and stuff like that. If they were going to do another sequel, it would make sense for them to kind of, what's the word?
Outsource?
Outsource, like the actual terrain map, you know what I mean?
Because
especially, I mean, that's what, Monolith Soft does best. So that kind of gets me pretty excited. For sure. Hopefully we hear about that pretty soon. But I mean, if they're hiring people now, I'd say it's a little further. You think it's 2 years out?
At least 2, dude. Yeah. Maybe more. Yeah.
That's a bummer. Well, at least we're getting 2 different Zelda games this year.
Oh, we're not hurting for Zelda whatsoever.
Hey, speak for yourself, man.
Fair point. Just play Breath of the Wild again. It's still fresh.
Yeah,
it does not get old.
Point.
I still need to. I never got the DLC, so maybe I'll do the Master Quest.
I've been saying they could just put out DLC packs for Breath of the Wild for the next 10 years, and that's fine for me.
Yeah.
Give me something where I can go underwater and climb down a crevasse or something. Great, fantastic. Here, take 40 of my dollars and also 40 hours of my time.
Oh yeah. Yep. Well, look forward to Legend of Zelda Crevasse of the Wild coming later this summer. That's not true. I made that up. Okay. Next news item we got right now for the week. Looks like Sega at the Sega FES or Sega Fez, whatever you call that. It's kind of their conference that they do. They announced a few games that they're working on. One of the things they announced was that Genesis Classic, which is looking pretty good.
Yep.
Being done by the people who are doing the Sega Ages games.
They do M2? Is that?
I think so. Yeah. So they've moved from the kind of older developer that was kind of screwing the pooch on it, and they've moved over to the people that have been doing a really good job with the emulation. So that's exciting. But then other than that, in more Nintendo-y news, they announced that they're working on 2 Tokyo Olympic Games for 2020. One is the straight up Tokyo 2020 Olympics, the official game, which is going to be coming to all platforms. And that's kind of more realistic. There's always that one Olympics game that comes out every time, regardless. So that's looking pretty good. But then they're doing officially another Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. I'm pretty pumped about this. I really have enjoyed the Mario and Sonic games in the past. Are any of you guys looking forward to this game?
I've never played the Mario and Sonic at the Olympics thing. Personally, I did not know there was going to be an Olympics next year or that it was going to be in Tokyo. I kind of forget that the Olympics exist.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
It does sneak up on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. This is definitely also where I got that news. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty pumped. I think it'll be a fun time. I always don't care about the Olympics, and then the Olympics start, and then I care a ton about the Olympics. Every single year. I get way into it. Have you played any of the Mario
I
and Sonic
never
games?
played them. I've watched them. Honestly, just not my type of game. Whenever
Right.
I see it, I'm like, man, I'll play it if I can find it for like $20 or $30. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, if it's at $20-$30 at that price point,
Yeah.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
I'll mash buttons with my friends.
but it's gonna be $60.
I would hope it would be about there, especially if they're doing like a full-fledged. I mean, it's going to be $60.
Oh, it's going to be, yeah.
But it'd be cool, like if like the full-fledged like official game was a little more expensive, and
Yeah.
this was more about, like a budget title. If they're doing both, maybe they'll do something like that.
Yeah.
And Mario and Sonic has been taking a break for 4 years because they skipped the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow,
they did.
very controversial.
Yeah. Now they're coming back for 2020, baby.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll pick it up. It's definitely some of the luster of seeing Mario and Sonic in a game together is gone as of now.
Yep.
You know, because like I remember the first one where it was like, oh shit. You know, it was like, because I think the first time they were in a game together was even before Brawl was a Mario and Sonic Olympics game.
Yeah.
And it was like, and at that point it was like, oh man, this is crazy. But now it's like, yeah, you got it in Smash, you're getting them every single Olympics.
Yeah, it is nice to see though Nintendo playing well with other companies though. So, you know, kind of that mashup and having that relationship with Sega, maybe we'll have more relationships with different companies going on.
Yeah, I'd love to see some more exclusives come out of Sega as well. I think that would be really nice.
Yes.
But,
plus, any time that like we get to see Sonic in something that's actually enjoyable instead of like
It's a win.
ripping another shred out of our childhood. That's great.
oh man, do you hear that? That's the sound of 1,000 Sonic fanboys crying out in pain.
Fine. Go play Sonic 2006. Tell me that I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong there. That game was ass. All right, that is the official Super Switch Heads opinion on Sonic 2006. So that's pretty much all the Sonic and Mario news. In other news, moving on, looks like we've got another Splatfest coming up. If anyone's still playing Splatoon, is anyone still playing Splatoon in here?
I play Splatoon.
You still playing every once in a
hell
while? Hell yeah. Well, this is for a couple of the Switch heads in the group. I know not that many of them play Splatoon, but there is a Spring Fest is coming to Splatoon 2 soon. Something that kind of sets this one apart a little bit is all the colors are going to be very kind of pastel-y, kind of spring looking, like Eastery, you know? And honestly, it looked really pleasant to look at. I think it's going to be the first one I play in a while because I have not personally fired it up in a minute.
I was trying to think of the last Splatfest, which was mustard versus mayo, and all the colors.
They did
were,
mayo again?
Maybe.
Well, because there was ketchup v mayo. That was the first one.
Okay, it was ketchup v mayo.
Yeah.
If that was the first one, then they made all of the ink red or white.
Yeah.
It just looked like blood and cum.
Yeah, it was like blood versus cum. So it was pretty fun. I was definitely
Yeah, where
on
did you
Team
fall?
Blood.
Yeah, Team Blood all the
That's
way.
like a metal festival.
Team
man.
Cum
yeah.
won, I think, the first time around. Yeah.
That's official Nintendo.
Well, if we're not, I think we just hurt our chances of an official Nintendo sponsorship on this podcast, but that's fine. Looks like around this time you can pick between two teams. Looks like we've got Team Hare or Team Tortoise. Which one are you guys going to go with?
Team Tortoise.
Really?
Team Hair.
Team Hare? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. What we got?
When you said hair, I thought like hair, like
No,
on your
no.
head, and I was like, oh,
No, like
tortoise.
the
No, I
tortoise.
get it now.
Team Tortoise and then Team a single strand of hair.
I gotta go turtles.
Doing turtles on this
Yeah,
one.
I like
Okay.
turtles.
All right, I'll go Team Hare. All right, I guess you and I
Even
are teaming
split.
up, and we'll see who wins. But yeah, that's exciting. I imagine Team Hare is going to make it all the way up to the very end, and then Tucker out, and then Tortoise is going to take it through. That's my prediction for the Splatfest results.
I get it.
Just so you guys know. You guys get it? You
Oh,
guys
I think I get it, yeah.
Like the old Aesop fable. Isn't it Aesop fable?
Yeah, it is.
Aesop Rock?
So, yeah.
He wrote a bunch of fables. It's hard to keep track.
Hey, we didn't know how to respond because it's really controversial.
It really, truly is. Why are they having a competition anyway? You should keep competitions between hares only and tortoises only. That's
Yeah,
what I
it seems
say.
fair.
Anyway, moving on. Patrick is like, you are never hosting again after this. Moving on. There's a really cool kind of Twitch and Nintendo promotion going on right now. If you have Twitch Prime, which comes with every Amazon Prime subscription, you can use your kind of points to get a free Nintendo Switch Online account for a whole year.
Yeah, and it starts with 3 months if you connect the account, and then after you do a certain amount of things, you can get 12 months of Nintendo Switch Online.
Right. Yeah. So I don't think that works for people in a family plan.
It
correct?
does not
No.
on the individual.
Right. So that doesn't. So I feel like that might be kind of wasted on me because I have I'm a part of a family plan that I think you're also in.
I am also in that family plan.
Yeah. Well, we're
I
brothers.
am also in that.
Yeah.
Like that.
we got a lot of people that are related, and we're all related to each other. We all have the same name,
But we don't know it.
we all have the same last name, which is Mario. So check it out if you have Amazon Prime. It's definitely worth it. I think it's just free. You just get free shit. They've been doing cool stuff with this before. Like there's a lot of like Fortnite items you can get for free with Twitch Prime. You can also subscribe to one Twitch stream channel per month for free. Lots of cool stuff. Anything you guys want to say about this Twitch thing? Or
I just hope that means that like we're gonna get a Twitch app so
Yeah.
that you can
Yeah, that'd be
easily
nice.
stream from the Switch.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because if like I would love to just Twitch stream, but I don't play anything but wrestling games on my PlayStation.
Right,
And I don't want to buy a lot of tech to be a streamer and possibly fail.
Yeah, I feel you. I think that might work. I don't think that would work on the current generation of Switch, right? Like I think like that, and we talked about some of this last week with the kind of Switch revisions.
Yeah.
But it's like I think that we're going to be seeing a lot more like gamer stuff like that, like background processes, like on a beefed up like pro system. You know what I mean? Like hopefully we get like voice chat and stuff like that. Because a lot of the stuff that we've been hearing from the distributor, the parts manufacturers there, is that it would be like made for like gamers, pro gamers in mind. You know, so hopefully, that could be something we see later this year if those rumors are true about a Switch revision coming.
Yeah, the revision would be awesome.
Yeah,
but I think it's cool just having more people on the Nintendo online system. I just don't think there's enough people. Not a lot of signups. So hopefully this will get a new surge of player base into there. Some new Smash people to play against.
Yeah, some new Tetris 99 scrubs that I can beat.
Yes, I still have not won, and I'm so mad.
I'm at a standstill right now. Everybody's too good now for me to win anymore.
I'm so
it's a real
mad
problem.
I can never win.
I was trying to put my sisters in town. I was trying to like show her last night, and I just kept getting like 80th place and 70th place. I was like, I'm always better than this, I promise. It's really bad. Let's go ahead and move on to a couple bits of Persona news and leaks and rumors that are in the news right now. First being that a Best Buy ad, I think for this upcoming week, right, had seemingly has leaked the full render of Joker for Smash. Did you guys see this image at all?
I did not.
Yeah,
No,
did you
I
see
did
it?
not either.
So you saw it, right?
Yes.
So I saw it, and it's definitely looks legit. Like I don't know why it wouldn't be. It was like leaked officially on Best Buy's site. So
And it's so close.
yeah. There was no date on it. I know it just said basically like pre-order the Fighter's Pass and you'll get Joker. But definitely it kind of seems like that was a big oopsie. Seems like maybe we'd be getting some Smash announcements pretty soon. What do you have to think about that, Matt?
I hope so. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice. I kind of going into that as well. I don't know if you guys remembered if we'd ever talked about it, but Atlas had registered a number of domains, all kind of relating to Persona 5. One of them was Persona 5R, which ended up being that the what was that called? The Persona
Royale
5
or something like that. I don't know.
Persona 5 the Royal, I think.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a new version of Persona 5 that's coming to PlayStation.
Yep.
And then they also had registered the domain Persona5s.com. Well, you can say it out loud. They can't read your lips on this podcast. Yeah. Jordan mouthed switch and made an S with his hand. But sorry to call you out there, buddy. But so everybody obviously, whenever they found those domains had been registered, were like, oh, clearly that's going to be a Switch port, right? And it only makes sense with Joker coming into Smash. But as of now, they've actually filled the site with something, and there's a bit of a countdown. And right now, there is something that says there's going to be news on April 25th. So, I mean,
with
we
the
can
way
all put
they-
two and two together on this, right?
Yeah, I mean, with the way they dropped Piranha Plant, kind of like little bit. They said it's coming in this area, and then they just dropped him one day. I feel like it's going to be similar with Joker. It's just one day he's going to be available. Maybe it's the 25th. Maybe it's like a couple days after that.
Well, yeah. Well, we definitely know it's coming out in April. They said that in the most recent direct, or at least in whatever the direct where they've revealed Joker, right? Yeah. Or I guess that was at the Game Awards. But I don't think that they can shadow drop Joker because I feel like Joker would come out with an update, right? And I think shadow dropping an update you just can't do because you have to give people enough time to back up their saves. Or back up their replays. You know what I mean? Because basically the way that Smash does replays, it's not like a video file that you save. It's like game data. So whenever you tweak all the balance of the characters, it throws off all the old replays. And the old replays just don't work anymore. Right?
That I did not know.
Yeah. So like before Piranha Plant came out, they were like, hey, the 2.0 update is coming out on X day. You have this number of days to like save your replays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like back them up. So I feel like we're going to be getting at least a week notice ahead of time before Joker comes out. That's my personal theory anyway. Yeah. And that's going to lead into a couple rumors we have coming up later here in the news section. But you want to say something?
Yeah, if this segues to the next section, because right now we're on Smash 2.0.
Right.
And Joker,
2.02, I think.
2.02. Yeah, so we'll probably get 2.03 or 2.05 in order to fix or correct all of those replays.
Right.
And then we'll get the
full 3.0,
which will probably be changes as well as dropping Joker.
Yeah, and obviously they've been talking about, there's been rumors about the new modes as well, potentially coming, like Stage Builder and Home Run Contest, so that could be really nice. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I think this month we're going to be playing like a whole bunch of new shit in Smash, which is really exciting. Because I've kind of stalled on Smash because I've been playing a bunch of other games. But I'll get to that later in the show. So that's interesting. So keep your eyes on the Persona 5S website, which should be updating throughout the month. But let's go ahead and move on to a couple rumors here about some potential new Nintendo Directs happening in April. Now, I think that this makes a lot of sense. We've got quite a lot of games that are being slated to come out before E3 without a lot of solid release dates for them.
Yep.
So definitely that could be something that we can maybe learn from a direct. I think that they would want to show off some of these new modes from Smash.
Yep.
So that'd be a good opportunity. And to show Joker gameplay, being like, here's what he's going to be doing, and then you'll be able to download it on this day. Just so you guys know, there have been a few leaks. One was from an anonymous 4chan poster. I was looking at it right before this. That one's actually looking pretty fake. The only reason I have it on here is that they were saying it would be on April 11th. Which we just found out today is the date that Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is going to be dropping. So that could be kind of cool if they were doing a direct and they're like, oh, also Hellblade's available today, you know? So that could be kind of cool, but I kind of doubt that's going to happen. The more kind of credible leaks are looking at more mid-April, maybe around the 18th. That would be, I think, a Thursday. So that's kind of looking pretty good right now. There have been a few different sources for that. One of them was someone named Sabi on Twitter, who had correctly guessed, or had gotten information from people that had guessed all the Pokemon starters. So that's kind of how they knew they were legit. And then Gaming Intel, which is a site that does kind of do a lot of news articles about pretty much any rumors. So it's kind of hard to take this stuff, you have to take this stuff with a grain of salt. But they also did report on this kind of around the 18th direct date.
Just real quick, if we get a direct this month, what do y'all want to see in it? I can go first.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to see more house.
House.
Town.
Yes.
Jeez. I'm currently in a house.
Yeah. And that house is in a town. So I understand why that's a little confusing. Yeah. I was like, damn, you want to see the Japanese horror film House? That sounds pretty tight.
I'd play a game based on that.
I would definitely play that game. Day one purchase.
Yeah, no, but for sure. I mean, that would be great.
Let's see some town.
Yeah. I'd love do we have any sort of release date for that? Just 2019?
Just 2019.
Do we even know if it's coming out 2019?
I don't know. I don't know if they said the year, but I mean, would make sense. It seems like they've been working on it for quite a while.
Are you?
And we have seen.
Sorry, finish what you were saying.
Oh yeah, we have not seen anything about this game for a long time, and it's Game Freak, correct?
Yeah, it's Game Freak. That's what I was going to ask. Are you a Game Freak guy? Do you play the Pokemon games?
Yeah, I've played every Pokemon. I'm like so down to see them do something besides Pokemon, because the company is really creative in their own right. And I was actually reading about the history of Game Freak is wild. Like, so I would love to see them do something outside of the Pokemon realm and see what else they have. You know, I'm sure they have tons of creative people there working on lots of other different ideas. So I want to see that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It seems like a really talented studio. It'd be a shame if they just kind of worked on Pokemon forever. So that's pretty exciting.
I mean, they're doing a good job with it. So.
What about other than Town? Is there anything that you'd be hoping to hear about in this direct?
I would love to see something about Luigi's Mansion 3. Because I mean that's supposed to be coming this year, correct? Probably sometime in the summer.
Yeah. Or there had been kind of a rumor that it would be a little bit later, maybe around like September, October. I mean, October would make sense because it's spooky, but but
Luigi's Mansion 2 for 3DS was one of the coolest games that I've ever played. I just loved the style. I loved how they expanded upon the originality of like the original Luigi's Mansion and just kind of expanded it and had you in different play areas. So I'd love to see some Luigi's Mansion stuff and see what kind of environments they have for us in this game as well.
Yeah, and it's the same development team, I think, that did Dark Moon. So
I'm so stoked for that game.
That's great. What about you, Adam?
I'm so thirsty for Animal Crossing details.
Yeah, man.
So just like water this little plant boy, just give it to me. Just just drop it into my mouth. Thank you
for sure.
Aside from that, like Luigi's Mansion, I doubt we'll get any Pokemon updates until like E3.
Yeah, see, that's I'm kind of thinking that about a lot of the stuff that you guys have been saying. Is that a lot of these sound like prime like E3 news bits, you know what I mean? Because I don't think they're gonna do like what they did last year, because I think it kind of pissed a lot of people off, where it was like they showed like 4 games and then showed Smash for like 25 minutes. You know what I mean? I feel like they're probably not gonna do that this time. But yeah, so hopefully we get more actual different variety of games this E3 for their direct. But I think if they were gonna show anything, something that somebody wrote on here is that Reggie's last day is like it's like April 15th, I think. So it'd be kind of nice to see him in this direct, you know?
It would be great.
If not just to give him one last opportunity to kind of speak to the fans. I mean, I know he made that really nice video on Twitter. Yeah. And if you want to see that synced up with some nice Pokemon music, go to our YouTube channel, because I made a little video on that. It's the only video that's not a podcast episode on our channel right now. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to have Reggie come out and kind of say some final words. And then I think there's just too much Smash stuff. Yeah. That I think that you could, you know, even if it's just a Smash Direct, I think that they could show off a lot of the new modes.
That and then maybe show another new character. I mean, we have 5 characters coming. We only know 1.
Yeah.
Maybe show off the next one.
Yeah, I think if they showed this and then kind of alluded to who the next one was, I think that would be great. Yeah, you're still holding out for Waluigi.
Give me both Waluigi and Smash, because then I'll finally buy it. Yeah. And not just siphon off of all of my friends with an extra Joy-Con.
Yeah.
And also give me a summer surprise of Waluigi's Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Oh, that would be really nice.
Give me Waluigi in a Speedo. I want it. I already know I can find it on the internet.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I got some websites for you, but
I just had a thought that came to mind. I think we're gonna see Killer Queen.
Oh, Killer Queen Black?
Yeah, because Killer Queen Black got announced. It was either on the PlayStation, their Direct-esque thing, or Xbox Insider. I'm pretty sure it was PlayStation.
Yeah. They were talking about it coming out soon. Oh, it has a release date for PlayStation, right?
And I feel like if Killer Queen wants to, they already have like this groundswell of community support for it.
Right.
And being on the Switch just, I don't know, it feels like it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. I mean, you can play with multiple consoles, and like, I just think it's a great idea. That's something we actually didn't talk about when we were talking about our South by Southwest stuff, but we actually played quite a bit of Killer Queen.
Yeah, we were on that machine for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that game is really fun.
Have you guys played Killer Queen?
No, what is it?
Same. What is that?
It's kind of like a joust style multiplayer game, but it's like a 10-player multiplayer game.
Yeah, it's 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's different ways to win. So, like, if you ever play Joust, you have to be the person who's vertically higher, and then you run into each other and you kill them, and that's a military victory.
Right. And then you can also, like, basically put a bunch of resources into a thing, and then that's like an economic victory or whatever. And then, like, there's different ways to win. It's kind of like a weird, quick Joust style strategy game. It's actually really fun, and it's really fast paced. I can't wait for that game to come out. That's gonna be a Switch Heads meetup. staple
can't
once
wait.
it comes out. Yeah.
And each match is only between 2 or 3 minutes, so it has that Splatoon vibe where you're like, okay, one more. Okay, one more.
Yeah.
Okay, one
Yeah.
more. And then 10 people can fucking play it.
yeah.
that's
It's
wild.
so fun.
I feel like it would be really great for like tournament round kind of scoring. You know what I mean? I think you
Yeah.
could do some really fun stuff with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool. So yeah, that's some stuff that we'd be hopefully looking forward to. I've also been hearing some just rumblings from people that I know in the industry saying some stuff might be happening halfway through the month. So be on the lookout. You heard it here first, folks.
That's a hot scoop.
That's a hot scoop.
Whoa.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to be seeing a direct or at least some sort of indies or otherwise announcement midway through the month. Hopefully it's not just another one of those Twitter directs. You know, I really like it when they put a whole little thing together.
Yep.
And I want to see Reggie again, goddammit. I don't think that's too much to ask.
I think I think we will see Reggie. I think that's a very good prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on real quick because we are running out of time of this section. Nintendo has updated their E3 website. Not too much news on there. Really, the main thing there is that they are going to be hosting Splatoon and Smash tournaments again this year. I imagine, in addition also to their Treehouse content that they've been streaming over the past few years. You guys ever watch those kind of tournaments?
I'd never watched the tournaments. I watched the Treehouse Directs, but no, never
Yeah,
the tournaments.
I watched the Smash tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
but the weirdest thing about the rules that they also did last year is they had Smash balls in the tournament, or they have
It's Smash meters too.
it's Smash meters, and what's the group battle? I can't think of the name.
Squad Strike.
Squad Strike.
Yeah.
So they have teams of 4 teams of 3, something like that, and that's part of the tournament for E3 2019 rules. It just feels like very strange because like
I think, well, it's also like before Smash came out, I think they were trying to just kind of show off the new features of the game. You know, hopefully this time it'll be a little bit more like everybody's just playing as Joker.
Joker tournament.
But yeah, hopefully it's like a little more like standard. I'm sure they've been trying to kind of foster that competitive scene. So
Yeah.
cool. So that just about does it for news today. Pretty exciting news week. Hopefully we'll have some cool stuff to talk about next week as well. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to the episode focus of the day, which is undiscovered gems. Everybody has got a few games on their Switch that no one else has played. And I think this would be a great, platform for us to talk about some of those games that no one's ever talking about. So we're not going to be talking about your Hollow Knights here. We're not going to be talking about, any of those games. Like we talked last week about the top 10 indie games. We're going to be avoiding those, right? We're going to be talking about just some cool undiscovered gems that you would love other people to know about. And let's go ahead and, who should we start with? One of you guys want to start? I think we're each going to talk about 3 or so. You want to start, Jordan?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah, man. All right. So, first one, I just want to mention real quick. I really like the art style and the gameplay is Gonner. Basically, it's like a roguelike game. And you have a gun and you're just going through these levels and the graphics are really pretty. It's a really dark game. And also when you beat the first level, you meet a giant whale and he talks to you and I'm like, this is tight. I'm here for it. And that's all I'll say about that game. But that game's like really fast paced. It's always on sale.
That was
it's
one
really
of the
nice.
first indie games on the platform, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot
like
of
$8
fun.
or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It kind of almost reminds me a little bit of gameplay in Cave Story, like,
Okay,
but a little
yeah.
bit faster and
love
more
Cave Story.
brutal.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
that game's really fun.
what was the name?
That was Gonner.
It's
Gonner.
Gonner, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gonner.
Yeah, cool. Check it out.
The other one I wanted to mention, the Sexy Brutale. It's like an adventure game, but it's kind of got that Majora's Mask mechanic where you have to go backwards in time. And so the premise of the game is that you're going to a party, but everyone at the party gets murdered, and you have to figure out how they get murdered and prevent their murder. And so it's like a puzzle game.
So you kind of see into the future, or do you go into the past?
It's like Groundhog's Day or Majora's Mask where you have to rewind time.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And you have to hide around the stages and watch their paths and see where they go. And that's how you can figure out how they died and how to prevent their deaths.
Oh, really interesting.
That sounds fun.
Is it a Japanese game?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I had gotten it on a sale. It looked interesting and I was like, all right, I'll check this out. And it was totally worth it. It's a pretty short game overall, but for me, busy man. So I just, anything that's a short experience that is really interesting and adventure heavy and makes you feel good for solving puzzles, I'm here for it.
Sure.
It does this thing too. I love like where you're looking at the map, you can see the pathway that they're going to take throughout the day if you've seen where they've been. So
Right.
So every time you go back, you can kind of find out a little bit more of the path. And it just is like a nice little mystery adventure game.
Yeah.
Great mechanics. Feels really good to play. cute art style. This looks nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely remember hearing whenever that game came out that there were some like weird performance issues. Did you notice any of those when you played? I think they might have patched them out.
No, I probably got it when it was patched out. No,
Right.
it ran smooth for me.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I've heard a couple people talk about that game.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next up, I have Blossom Tales,
Yes.
which if you're waiting for Zelda Link's Awakening remaster, go ahead and pick this up. It'll tide you over. It's basically a Zelda, I don't want to say clone because it's got its own unique elements, but very much inspired by Zelda.
It looks a lot like a clone. It's like even down to the pixel art style looks pretty similar.
Definitely, but I feel like it's got its own style as you play through it. It's got a little bit more different art style as far as like character design, if that makes sense, So
is there what about the game kind of makes it stand out from just being like a Zelda clone?
Yeah, for me, like when you're playing through it, you have a little bit more different mechanics as you're going through. I don't know, man. It honestly does feel pretty much like a Zelda game. I'm actually going to backtrack now.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
That's never a dig.
I mean, we did a whole episode on Ultra Wing, huh?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, no, man, it's just a lot of fun because I don't think Nintendo's making enough classic Zelda, and that's totally fine. I love Breath of the Wild. I really liked what is the 3DS one?
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds, we thought was great, but again, a little bit less of the traditional style.
So this is like way back to Super Nintendo basics.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah. And I'm into that. Anytime anyone does that and does it well, and they did it super well in this game.
There's another game that's a little bit similar to that, to those kind of Game Boy style Zelda games called what's that game called? Fuck. I brought it up.
That's a great game.
Anodyne.
I have not played it. It's
Anodyne
on my
is fun.
List.
That just came out on the Switch, and that's like not to just like hijack your shit and add in another game, but it's like I played that on PC a while ago, and that's a super fun game. Rated M for some reason, but
is it
I think maybe they say fuck in it or something.
Yeah, I
but
went to go view the Anodyne page on Nintendo, and it's asking me for
age restricted. Yeah.
What?
It's funny because it's like very old school Zelda style.
Weird.
You know what I mean? So it's like got to just be like content, I guess. But
is it like violent, like like Hotline Miami, where it's like old school graphics but just brutal?
Not even. I think they just say fuck. I think that's why it's rated M.
Damn.
But yeah, that's another great kind of game like that. It's got its own identity as well, but very similar to that style. Hell yeah. What about you, Adam? Or did you have anything else?
I have one more.
Oh yeah,
this is the one I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
It's called The Keep. And I used to play it on a 3DS back when it came out. And it's basically like a first-person dungeon crawler style game, RPG. And there's really not a lot of those on Switch, which I think the Switch is like the perfect platform because it's like a fun game to take mobile and have it like on the screen itself. So it's just like that first-person view.
Almost like kind of like a wizardry style game or something.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. Yeah. And so it's like, I mean, you're in a dungeon. The premise of the game is evil wizard is bad. You have to kill him and go through his dungeon. Pretty simple. Like,
Tale as old as time, dude.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah, day in the life.
But it's got like, so it's not turn-based. It's more of a real-time action. And it's got really fun puzzles where you throw a lot of stones around.
Right.
I know that sounds like kind of weird, but it's really fun.
Do you ever play a PC game called Stone Keep?
No.
It's that old Interplay game. It's got terrible voice acting, but it looks very similar. It's
Yeah.
this first-person shooter. It's magic-based, and you get to throw stones.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this one, I think it taps into my nostalgia for the 1995 Windows screensaver where you're in the maze. Like I never
kind of Doom style. Like
that gets me. And I also I really want to see Legends of Grimrock on Switch.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
another very similar kind of game.
Well, that would be perfect on the Switch.
Right.
Just to have a 2-pack, Legends of Grimrock 1 and 2. And I was looking actually before this episode, any information about that, and they're super tight-lipped. Like, they don't really talk. I don't have really social media presence whatsoever. So I'm like, man, that's a perfect Switch game. Y'all need to port that now, because all we have right now is The Keep, I think Heroes of Monkey Tavern, Severed, and there's a new one coming out. It's like a steampunk kind of first-person dungeon crawler called Vaporum or something like that.
Yeah,
but other than that, we don't really have that. And Legends of Grimrock was the top tier.
That's
of that
the de facto
genre.
spiritual successor to that whole genre.
Totally. Took it up to the next level. And even the second one has a really nice, robust building mechanic as well.
Okay.
So you can make your own campaigns as well.
So it's like Minecraft too.
Yeah.
So Jordan, just
Yeah.
from my understanding, if I have this deep itch and I need something to scratch this 1990 screensaver for Windows, the Keep is the game.
The Keep is your game.
Yeah.
What if you need
It's
to
on
scratch the like pipe building screensaver itch?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Pipe dreams?
shit.
I think that's Mario Maker.
Mario Maker.
That's Mario Maker. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. All right,
And I
cool.
think that game's on sale till the 11th, April 11th. So
Oh,
it's on
okay.
sale right now.
Got it.
Yeah.
More credence to that direct leak. No, I'm just
saying.
kidding.
Oh, sure.
Hey, I can talk about some games.
Yeah, go for it, Matt.
As I'm making this list, I made the realization, like sometimes I do with music, it's like, oh, check out this band, but realize that the band name is a pop song, and I listen to a lot of pop music.
Yeah.
And I listen to a lot of like I play a lot of AAA games. But I found some bangers, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you got some gems. You got some.
Yeah, I got some
gems.
gems. David, you had this on your list. It's Ikaruga. Did I say that right?
Ooh.
Ikaruga, yeah.
Ikaruga, it's a shmup or a shoot 'em up game. Top down, kind of like a Raiden game. Is that how you say it? The other kind of shmup. But the mechanics of the game is the enemies are either red or blue, and you get to change your lasers to red or blue, and only red can kill red and blue can kill blue. And it's like a really nice, fun Twitch shooter.
And it's like as all the bullets will be coming at you, if you're the opposite or if you're the same color, the bullets won't hurt you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes it not quite as mind-numbingly difficult.
Does that game work with flip grip?
Yes, is the answer. Yeah, that's definitely a flip grip killer app.
that's sick.
I actually bought that game just because I bought a flip grip.
In Ikaruga, I played it on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
if you
So
played the original.
anything that I can play that reminds me of the great 1999 playing Dreamcast,
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy it.
Dreamcast is one hell of a goddamn system.
Oh,
So
what
damn
a
good.
beautiful piece of machinery.
Yeah,
Hey, can we just make this Super Dreamcast heads?
I'm so down.
Hell yeah.
Switch it
But
up.
the Super Dreamcast. is what it'll be called.
nice.
But I just don't look at me like that.
Sick pun.
Yeah, that's a really good game. I think that might be the only Dreamcast game on the Switch right now.
I just saw on the eShop Cell Damage.
Oh fuck!
Oh, yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, Cell Damage just came out.
RAP Car Combat Games.
Yeah.
But, we have Cell Damage.
I played that on GameCube.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was a good ass game. I do want to say that Ikaruga was published by Nicholas Games, the same people that have published. They published Cave Story, Binding of Isaac. What was that? What was that fighting game they did? They put out like a big Nicholas like crossover fighting game recently. I forget what it's called. Anyway, but yeah, they've got a ton of cool stuff. And if you ever want to get those games physically, all the Nicholas games come with like sticker books and instruction manuals and stuff, which is really
Yeah, it's
cool.
really cool. Yeah. Their packaging's great.
But anyway, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to hijack.
No, it's all good. The other game I love playing with friends is Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes. Have you played this game?
No,
Very
I've
good.
heard about it.
That's kind of the VR bomb game, right?
Yeah, it was on PC, it's on VR, it's on PSVR, it's on a lot of different platforms. But Jordan, I know you're talking about that you love puzzles.
Yeah.
And a bomb is going to explode, and then each side of the bomb are panels, and each panel is a puzzle. And one person is looking at the bomb, and the other person has like a manual to solve the puzzles. And so it's a test of communication. Can you communicate with your fellow human being correctly?
Right.
Answer no.
I think the like official way to play the game is to like print off the instruction manuals. So you
It's
have to
the
like,
best way.
like physically flip through it while someone is like looking at the screen. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of a cool like multimedia experience.
That's great.
Yeah, it's such a fun game to play, and if like a 5-minute bomb and you're trying to figure out these puzzles at the same time to disarm the bomb.
Yeah.
And it's like this intense, it's so much fun to play and introduce new people to it.
I watched a video on YouTube of real bomb technicians playing that game. Like people that like worked for the Marines, like disarming bombs, like playing the game. And I gotta say, they fucking nailed it.
Oh,
They did
yep.
a good job.
Makes sense.
I'd hope so. That's
Yeah.
their only job.
They're like, yeah, we couldn't get this right in Fallujah, but we got it right in the video game.
The third and final game, I need to commit to this bit. Toe Jam and Earl. Back
Hell
in.
yeah.
Ooh.
I've talked about it in multiple episodes. It's really fun throwback. If you played Toe Jam and Earl on Sega Genesis, download this.
Nice.
Follow them on Twitter. They're really fun and really cool guys.
Yeah, I saw you also had Snake Pass on here. You also enjoy that game.
Yeah, Snake Pass is fun.
That's like a chill out game, right?
Yo, it's so chill. You play a snake
Yeah.
There's no jump, and you just wrap yourself around stuff in order to that's
Give it to
Did that just awaken something inside you?
It's not an awakening. It's just like there aren't enough games for that like are on a console for when you're just like it's 2 a.m, can't fall asleep, too high to do anything
I
about
just
it.
wrap myself around.
It's just like
something.
just give me something to stare at until my brain decides to shut off.
Yeah.
I
That
need
sounds
to
like
be
Snake Pass.
a snake.
Yeah, I just really need to be a snake right now.
Yeah.
and when I don't know the name of the snake, but when the snake is like loses, you lose some of the physics and you start falling. He gets sad.
Aw.
Oh yeah, me too.
Same.
I'll go ahead and go next, then we'll go to you,
Cool.
Adam. But I got a few games on here. One thing that I have talked about a little bit before is just the Picross series of games.
Yes.
I'm a huge Picross fan, or nanograms, like whatever you want to call them, but they're called Picross on the Switch. Both Picross S and Picross S2 are fantastic puzzle games. I was actually playing it co-op for the first time last night with a friend, and really, really fun. And it's like, everyone I've shown that game to has just been completely enamored with it really quick. If you like Sudoku style puzzles, like it's for you. And if you run out of all the puzzles on Picross S and Picross S2, there's Pick-a-Pix Deluxe, which is like a knockoff, which has like constant DLC coming out. So you'll basically never run out of stuff. I really recommend all those games, regardless of what you get.
Second.
Yeah, we got
Those
a
games
second
are
over here.
tight, dude.
I got a couple other here. I've got Runner 3. I feel like got totally slept on, but it's a sequel to Bit Trip Runner and like the Bit Trip series of games. They used to be called Gaijin Games, the guys who make it. Now they're called something else. But Runner 3, I got it on sale. They added a ton of new content to it, and it works really, really well on the Switch. If you like rhythm-based games, that's really good. I've got another one on here called Thumper. I know last week we were talking about VR games, and I guess we were with Keep Talking Nobody Explodes as well. VR games that have made their way over to the Switch. This game totally blew me away. I really, really enjoyed it. It's kind of a rhythm game. It's kind of rhythm / F-Zero / auto runner sort of thing. It struck me just because it just looked unlike anything I'd ever seen. It's so psychedelic and bizarre.
It's kind of terrifying, too.
And terrifying. It's like an existentially terrifying game.
It's a bad acid trip.
Yeah, it's like a bad acid trip. And like the music is heavy and industrial, and it's like got this crazy feel. Just put it on for a few minutes, see if it's for you. Although I would say if you have a VR headset or PSVR, that's probably the way to play that game, just because I can imagine with headphones on and being like sucked into that world, that would be quite an experience. But I mean, just having it, just wearing headphones in handheld mode in bed, it totally brought me there.
The aesthetic reminds me of a Dreamcast game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Sure,
I see it for sure.
Yeah. And the ship reminds me of the ship from Flight of the Navigator. You guys ever see that movie?
No.
Like 80s kids movie? Let's all watch that after this podcast.
All right, tight. Yeah, it's just like a little beetle. And I think it's like one of the members of that band, Lightning Bolt, helped produce the game as well.
Yeah, that's what you were
which is
saying.
So cool.
Yeah. I had no idea.
As soon as I heard he was making a game, I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder that's going to be weird. And it was. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's absolutely crazy. If you like rhythm games at all and you can get down with some weird shit, like play that game. It's really fun.
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of weird shit, another great game for the Switch is Membrane. I'm not going to go too far into this. It's kind of like a little puzzle game. It's got like basically I bought this just because I really liked the icon in the eShop. It's kind of got this weird MS Paint aesthetic.
Nice.
I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's basically a game where you're a little man and you build like bridges and like levers out of like poop that you like put out of your body in a very strange way. Look it up. It's fun. Yeah.
Is it fun? I saw that game and I'm like, this is weird.
It's really
I think
weird.
This might be too weird for me.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's kind of physics based.
Yeah.
But it's like, and I'm actually stuck on a puzzle right now. I'll go back to it at some point, but it's like, but yeah, that game, definitely nobody's talking about that game. And
Not
it's a
at
really
all.
great
Yeah.
undiscovered gem. I would really recommend it. It's got a really cool art style. I'm going to skip over Paranautical Activity. I like that game, but it sucks. Don't get it. Lastly, it's like a first-person like Quake style Binding of Isaac game, but it's just broken and it doesn't play well on the Switch, unfortunately. But it's great on PC. And then I'll say just last one, just a shout out to my friend Rusty, who developed this game called Astro Duel. We've talked about it before on the podcast, but if you're looking for a great 4 to 6 player, like kind of just party game that you can play, Astro Duel is the shit. Apparently he's working on a new game too, which hopefully we'll be hearing something about pretty soon. But Astro Duel was one of the first indies on the platform. And it was like that and Gonner, basically.
Yeah.
And I guess Fast RMX, like, were kind of the first games you could buy on the Switch.
Was that the like asteroid style game, but like
Exactly.
4-player? Oh,
Yeah,
that game
yeah.
is so much fun to play with
Multiplayer
each other.
asteroids.
Yeah, everyone can pick it up too. It's not like a game the skill curve is pretty low. You know?
Yeah, it's real low. I mean,
Yeah,
you
so
can
it's a
get
lot of
good at
fun.
the game.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like the chaos factor is kind of high enough to where it's
Yep.
like, I think anybody could have fun with it. But yeah, definitely check out Astro Duel
Lot
if
of
you're
fun.
looking for something fun and multiplayer and a little bit under the radar. You'll impress
Yeah.
people with your cool new game that they've never seen before.
Yeah, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, oh, those guys just read from a listicle. We did. You're right. But you can also find the list. We'll put it in on the description of the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, cool. Hell
Yeah, and I think it might be able to fit on the description of the podcast, but I'm not sure we can do bulleted list. So
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
double
see.
check.
Also, we'll put a list on our Facebook page as well. So if you guys want to check us out at facebook.com/superswitchheads, we'll have a list there. But before we move on, what games do you got for us, Adam?
It's
you got
time for Art School Corner.
Well, this is why I specifically went through my friends list on Switch and just looked for the people that had the weirdest games, and you had the weirdest games. So that's why I brought you on this
That's
episode.
me, because they all came from a list off of this first one, which is called Gris.
Oh, right.
I think that's French. I don't know.
Gris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's made by this studio called Nomada in Barcelona and released by Austin's Devolver Digital.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. This it's like a very Journey-esque style of game where it's just like there's not a lot of dialogue. A lot of the emotion is just like carried through the score, which I have fallen asleep listening to many nights. 'Cause
Really?
it's beautiful and perfect and sad.
Yeah.
And that's my aesthetic. So,
Hell
but
yeah.
like,
it looks gorgeous. It's all kind of hand drawn, right?
yeah. Here's the thing. Y'all know, like, y'all have played Celeste, you know, like the whole, like, it's an emotional story about overcoming abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So is Grease, but like, you can actually beat Grease. I put all the assists on in Celeste, and I can't get through like the first level. I'm garbage at platformers, but this is like simple platforming that's just like, hey, go here, do these things, find these little like beams of light, collect them, form new paths. And the entire time, it's like the story of a woman who suffered some sort of like traumatic event. It's never outlined exactly what it's in. It's like very metaphorical.
Sure.
But as you go through the game, it starts off in like grayscale. And as you finish every section, you inject a color back into the environment.
Holy shit, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. So like it visually progresses the entire time.
So it's like a game version of Pleasantville.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But then there's also a couple like powers, like you can turn into like a brick to like smash through stuff. But like the big one is singing. Like she can make flowers bloom by singing, but like you get that about like 3/4 of the way through the game. The entire time before that, if you press the button for the singing, you just hear like a little squeak, like someone that's like forgotten how to speak.
Oh, right.
And like the moment that she got her singing voice back, I had to put the game down because I was sobbing. Like
Wow.
it devastated me
Yeah.
because it was already I like these games that are like a good like 4 to 8 hour contained experience. That's like, oh yeah, I would watch that movie again 500 times. I will play this game a bunch more times. I've played it like 5 times.
Really? Just all the way
and
through?
That moment crushes me.
How
every
is the
time.
kind of replay factor?
The
Do you get
replay
something out of it
factor
every time?
is like there's a lot more achievements beyond just like the 4 colors to get. Honestly, I haven't really paid attention to them because I'm just like, I like this story. I like how it makes me feel. It does a thing. That's what I go for with these little like my little gems.
It's like affecting in a way.
I want something that's gonna like kind of give me a cool aesthetic, give me an interesting mechanic that like wouldn't work for a full length AAA game, but like for a $10 indie that gives you 8 hours of joy. Yeah, fine.
What is the aesthetic like in that game?
The aesthetic is like it's kind of French Nouveau.
Okay.
I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's been a while since I went to art school.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't remember the
that's
fancy
totally right.
words.
I think you say it
and
French.
I see that too in the style.
It's like it kind of has that like what's his face? Oh, Godard.
Right.
That's where I was going for. But like it's kind of like an aesthetic similar to that, but also has like kind of a watercolor type aspect to it, especially when the colors come back in. Loved it.
Awesome. That's great.
It's my go-to like flight longer than 3 hours game,
Right.
Because like then
you can just kind of play through it. I guess.
and once I cry, I guarantee that old lady next to me is not going to make conversation. Perfect.
I'm having fun.
And then like I got that came out back in December, and I got my Switch right before Thanksgiving, because I was like, I finally have the money for like the startup for a console to get that, and like Breath of the Wild, Mario, yeah. Pokemon Go, or Let's Go, perfect, wonderful, love it. But like right after I played this, I just like got on Reddit and was like, what are games like this? And the first one, one of the ones that came up that like destroyed me was called Bury Me, My Love. It was originally released on cell phones because the game mechanic is that you're texting your wife and you are in Syria. And your wife becomes a refugee. She's leaving Syria. You can't go because, like, if you leave, then who's going to look out for your mother and grandmother?
Oh, wow.
So, like, already it's like, oh, boy, the mood has come down a lot. But so, like, you are on the phone with her the entire time she's going on this journey. And you have the ability to, like, influence her decisions, but also like it's not a static thing. She makes choices that she doesn't tell you about. She contradicts you and like, I think that I have a better idea. So you're very much dealing with like a real authentic person. And there's a whole slew of ways the game can play out. First time that I got it, and it only cost like $5 or $10.
Sure.
I played for about a good 3 hours. And I thought things were going fine until it turned out that the dude that was going to smuggle my wife over the border of Turkey into Greece was not a cool dude, and just gave her and like these couple people that were from Korea, I think. Gave them like a shitty inflatable raft and was like, okay, cross the river.
Oh my God.
And then I got it ended with with like the raft capsizing, and she had gotten to shore somehow, but she had hypothermia.
Oh my God.
And then I got a voicemail of her drifting off into death.
Wow.
It's like a modern Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
like.
once again, I cried.
Yeah.
And then I made a $50 donation to
yeah.
Sami Zayn's Syrian refugee fund.
Oh yeah.
Like, so it's great.
Sounds effective.
There's happy endings.
Yeah.
I looked it up. I had to
You just
before
played
I started
wrong.
playing it
Yeah,
again.
Yeah.
I gave bad advice. This is why I have a cat.
That's really interesting.
And not,
How many
like,
endings are there?
I don't even know. The last that I checked, I saw that you could make it into Europe and like maybe even all the way to the UK. And like get like a real like job, and like she starts like a life. And the whole time only on phone screens, and every once in a while they send each other selfies, and it's cute. And
man.
like the banter, it's good.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
that sounds
Good.
awesome.
That name of the game is Bury Me, My Love.
Bury Me, My Love, which is
Just the title is making me cry.
That's great.
That's actually like it's based on a Syrian phrase that translates to "Don't die before I see you."
Oh, okay,
again.
right.
So yeah, if you just heard my voice crack, I started really thinking about it.
We're keeping it together here.
Is
Let's
that
go
a
on to
flip grip
something-
title?
What?
Is that a flip grip title?
I don't know what a flip trip is. Sorry. Another one that came up off of my like, please give me more shit like Gris was a case of distrust. I don't have to go into this one as much. It's just like it's a noir style detective game.
Yeah, you were talking about this
you
one.
play as a lady detective in 1920s San Francisco. So like Prohibition, mobsters.
Is it like a side scroller or like how does it play
not
out?
even like a side scroller. It's just it's like static locations that you like search for clues. But it's like a lot of interesting art style, music, characters.
Cool.
And you just have to put together this mystery.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's good. Takes you about like maybe 3 to 6 hours, depending on how perceptive you are. It took me 10.
You're just enjoying the experience.
But I never wanted to stop playing, even though I was getting frustrated. So
Right.
that's like, once again, like $10-$20. Yeah, give me this good art and solid story.
That's great.
And the last thing I want to touch on, even though it's not like underground for us, but for anyone who has like an actual life, no one knows what it is. Katamari.
Katamari
The
Damacy.
best, beautiful, perfect game that like that was
If you need a little pick me up after burying me in my love.
yeah. I mean, that Katamari was my entry point into like indie games way back,
Sure.
way back when.
It was like a $20 PS2 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like and then it came out again on Switch a couple months ago, and they added like new stuff to it. You can do the 2-player mode, which is always fun. Like just perfect.
Yeah, that's great.
Perfect thing.
I'm just
Katamari
waiting.
is like the game where someone sees that I'm playing it, and they're like, "Oh, you just roll stuff up in a ball."
Yeah.
Let me play that.
I guess
game
games
now.
are art.
Honestly, like one of the top 10 happiest experiences of my
Yeah,
life is
it's so
playing
fun.
the like roll up the moon level
Yeah.
on psychedelics a
Yeah,
couple
yeah,
years
yeah,
ago, and
Just listening to the soundtrack will make you in a good
oh
mood.
my god,
Yeah.
it's- I like to listen to that shit on the bus.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
put that on just like on a nice sunny day and just be like, yeah, just sing Lonely Rolling Star to me over and over again. Tiny unknown Japanese lady. You're a perfect angel. Thank
Yeah.
you for existing.
I used to play that soundtrack at work all the time, and I am no longer
great
at
one.
that job. All right. They didn't like it. All right. Well, thank you for your games.
Yeah.
That is a good list. Like we said, we'll put that list up somewhere. You guys can check it out. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We'll get a list up there for you. Some of these games that you should check out. Before we get done with the episode here, we only got a few minutes here, but let's go ahead and just kind of go through what we've been playing real quick. Just recently in the past week, I'll go ahead and start. I've been playing quite a bit of Horizon Chase Turbo still. I'm really enjoying that game. I'd still like to play some 4-player with you guys before we all go home tonight.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing a lot of that game. It's holding up. I'm really enjoying it. And then also Final Fantasy VII just came out.
Yeah.
Over this past week.
Yeah.
And I am playing it. And it's fun. It's great. It's old. It feels 22 years old. I'll tell you that. And it definitely feels like early PlayStation. And I think that I did it wrong
Yeah, you just played Final Fantasy IX.
because I just finished Final Fantasy
Yeah.
IX. You know what I mean? And it's like pretty much in every single way, Final Fantasy VII is a downgrade from Final Fantasy IX.
Wow.
Like other than like story and characters and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like and obviously aesthetic. Like if you're into like sci-fi, cyberpunk, steampunk sort of thing, Final Fantasy VII is definitely your bag, right? But it's like it's crazy going from like just the character models in Final Fantasy IX look so much better than in Final Fantasy VII. But I'm working my way through it. I will say I got pretty far today and the game crashed on me. And there are no autosaves in Final Fantasy VII like there are in Final Fantasy IX. So I was a little burned by that. But I'm gonna go back to it. It's great. It's cheaper than Final Fantasy IX. So if you're eyeing the Final Fantasy games on the Switch, I would still recommend Final Fantasy VII. I think it's great, but I would recommend starting with Final Fantasy VII, working your way up through 9, and then
Makes
eventually
sense.
10. whenever
9
it
is
comes
what I
out.
want.
Yeah, because 9's really good. And I mean, 7 is too, but it's like my sister was just asking me, she's like, which one should I play first? And I was like, really, you should play 7 first. Just because if you haven't played 7, Like, you owe it to yourself.
Yeah.
Because it is an incredible game.
I also think there's such a heavy nostalgia factor attached to number 7 that like people kind of view it with what is the phrase, rose tinted glasses.
Sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's, I mean, and it, you know, and it's also the game that split Square from Nintendo back in the day.
Yep.
You know, they'd been doing every single Final Fantasy game on Nintendo platforms. And then 7 came out and they were like, we want to do some stuff that we can do only with CD-ROMs, you know? So it's interesting to see it finally on a Nintendo console for the first time. So just from that factor alone, it's worth checking out. But yeah, you know, great characters, good story. But that's what I've been playing. What about you, Matt?
Yo, I've been playing Apex Legends.
Very good. Not surprising.
Are you playing it too?
Yeah, dude.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Finally, I can talk to someone
man.
about Apex Legends.
Dude, so good.
Dude, it's so great. Season 1 just came out. There's a new legend. They did some buffs. Yeah, you guys are shrugging your shoulders. It's a battle royale game.
It's fun, man.
Hey, we were just having a nice little moment over here alone.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not a
just
big
bad
deal.
at multiplayer, so like y'all enjoy yourself.
It's super intense.
Yeah.
It's really not that intense until it is, and then when it is, you're dead. Yeah.
It's such a fun game, and it's reinvigorating playing games with my buds.
That's great.
Totally, same. Yeah.
Like, playing games with my high school friends,
Yeah.
or like college friends, and it really.
Yeah,
scratch
my
that itch.
roommate and I moved the TVs downstairs together, and we have them side by side, and we just sit there and play Apex Legends.
Like you squat up.
Yeah, we squat up and we just play, and then
PC,
man,
console?
it's like console.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We're on console. So
Very cool.
yeah, it's been very nice to play with all these people I haven't played with in years. That we used to play like Call of Duty, 10, 15 years ago, Halo, now we're playing Apex Legends.
Yeah, same.
Haven't
Got that
talked to
same
each other
feel,
in
but it's
5
a little
years,
more
so we got a
fun.
lot to catch up on. Yeah. That's nice.
Exactly. I've also been playing Donut County.
Hell yeah.
Another
Yeah.
Katamari
Is
style
that good?
game.
Yeah, it's also a chill game like Katamari.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're just a hole, and you swallow stuff, and you get bigger as you swallow stuff.
Very
Story of
quirky.
my
That's
life.
cool.
Oh man, this is where I'm going to edit in the rim shot sound.
It's just a fun game to play. It's on tons of platforms.
Yeah.
It's on,
Yeah, it's on iOS.
smartphones, on
Yeah,
iOS.
yeah,
It's on Switch. It's on PS4. It's on many things.
The little gallery feature on it where where it gives you a description of every item in the game is its own little joy, because everything is just like a little touch of snark. And like I know that I have like at least like 20 or 30 screenshots from it that are just like, this was funny, I'm gonna send this to my boyfriend later.
Yeah. That's a nice time.
yeah.
Oh,
Adam,
yeah.
what have you been playing?
I have a Stretch 3 that I just downloaded from my wish list because yay sales.
Yeah. Wait, which one was it?
I got The Gardens Between.
Okay, right.
Which if I had spent more time on it, I would have talked about in my
Sure, yeah. We
Gem
talked about that a little bit
takedown.
on a previous episode.
It's so good.
We played it at South by.
Yeah, it's really
fun.
fun. I love this whole being a passenger in someone's story and just oh yeah, I'll just fast forward the time, send it back. But I've only spent 30 to 45 minutes with it so far. Loved what I did. And then I also picked up A Night in the Woods, which seems also would have put it on the list, but I've only played an hour of it.
Cool story-based game.
All the characters seem like kind of trash people, but I like that because it's realistic.
It's it reminds me of indie Zootopia.
Yeah, it's Zootopia, but if the cool furries that are into Zootopia had actually made their own game about
Yeah,
it.
sure.
And then also another one of those multi-platform classics, Firewatch,
Great.
which we were talking about this earlier. I have these stupid but awesome 3D-esque Switch goggles. And there's been no playing Katamari in that or Breath of the Wild or whatever, joys.
Yeah.
But a first person,
You just wear it on your face.
yeah.
For anyone that's
And
not
there's a free roam in the forest mode. So the first thing I haven't even touched the story yet. I just strapped those goggles on smoked bowl and tooled around in the forest for an hour and a half. I was like, this is fun and good. I like this. I don't care if there's any puzzles.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I have not played Firewatch
Yeah.
yet. That's the one I've got to pick up. At
Yeah,
some
there's
point.
a lot of
Waiting for
fun
a sale,
stuff.
but I'll grab it.
Yeah.
What about you, other than Apex Legends, Jordan?
Oh,
You been
yeah,
playing anything
Apex
else?
Legends. Yeah, of course. I also started playing Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
From a couple years ago. I hadn't played that. It's really great. Really reminds me of like the classic Deus Ex kind of formula. A lot more world exploring. I felt like the last one was a little bit more action heavy. So this
The
one's a
Human
little bit
Revolution
more,
one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a little bit more action heavy, which was fine. This one just definitely takes it back. Like the quests, there's so many different ways to do it. But on Switch, I've been playing every night before I go to bed. I play I Am Setsuna. Been
okay,
working
cool.
through that. Yeah. The Chrono Trigger battle system is kind of in there a little bit. So anytime that's there, I'm like, all right, I'll mess with it.
That's a Square game, right?
It is. Yeah. It's really bleak and very into it. It's like the whole game is the premise of the game is that you're leading in this world once a year. I think they send a sacrifice to die so that the monsters will be kept at bay, and you're part of the party taking the sacrifice to her death.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
like that's the whole premise of the game. So it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying that right now. And also read it's like a shorter RPG experience because I just don't have 90 hours to sink into a JRPG anymore.
Sure.
Too old. And then been catching up with The Keep because I'd played it on 3DS, but I wanted to talk about it here because it got ported. It was on sale, and I'm really enjoying that again. Really makes me want Legend of Grimrock though.
Yeah, well, let's write to our senator about that.
Oh man. And then last but not least, I've been playing some Smash again recently. Been having some friends over, just kind of like picking up the basics. Been looking around town to see if there's like any fun tournaments to play.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta practice up. Yeah.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
been fun. Yeah.
Cool, dude. Yeah. Well, that's man. If you've been listening intently, you've got like 30 games to fucking check out right now. So if any of those sounded like fun to you, please check out some of those games. The Switch has really turned into a pretty robust console, right?
Yeah.
Like it's been pretty amazing over the past few years, like what's actually come onto this system. I think there's something for everybody, So yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you so much to our guest, Adam Surwa.
Yay.
Thank you very much. I'm going to give you a little applause here. Thank you so much to Jordan Willis
Hey, thank you for
coming
having us.
on. Let's go ahead and just pour one out for Patrick, who died in a terrible work-related accident. I'm just kidding. He'll be back next week. Thanks so much, everybody, for listening to us. I'd love to thank Corduroy for our theme music. You guys heard the theme music for this fucking podcast?
Yeah, it's
It's
sick,
tight,
dude.
right?
I listen every week.
It's playing right now. But I want to give him a shout out. Definitely, you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Please give our YouTube a subscribe. We could definitely use a couple subscribers on there. And if you guys like what you hear and you got some friends that you think might be into this, please share it with your friends. We did a little bit of outreach this past week, and we got a bunch of new listeners. So if you're a new listener, thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to give us a review on iTunes. It also helps with visibility. Other than that, where can everybody find you guys? Well, what's your handle, Jordan?
Well, first of all, you can find me at Taco Bell on hanging out, eating gordita.
Are you a gordita boy or a quesadilla boy?
I'm a gordita boy.
Okay.
All the way.
I'm a cheesy gordita crunch guy.
Oh yeah, cheesy gordita. That's me. Yeah.
With the hot Dorito shell.
Oh, you like the? Oh, that's so good.
like the
What kind of
spicy
sauce do you
Dorito
like?
shell.
Okay, come on.
Okay, anyway, that'll be on Super Taco Bell Heads.
Boredan, Boredan on Instagram. Other than that, that's about it. Yeah.
You also have a podcast, right?
No, I work on another
working on
podcast
it.
called Comedians Interviewing Musicians. I was actually there right before this.
Cool.
They're great too. Yeah, it's every week they have a different musician and comedians interview. Right now our comedians are Becky Jo Neal. She is the host, and we also have co-host Kim Stacy. So
Cool.
Yeah, it's great.
That's great. And where can everybody find you, Adam?
All right. So for the Facebooks and the Instagrams, you can find me as a wild Surwa appears.
Very good.
That's SERWA. That's how you spell my name.
Very good.
It's a fun jingle that I should never do again.
yeah. Well, now it's immortalized in podcast form, so we're all good.
If you want to hear me tweet about wrestling incessantly and horny stuff, you can follow me on Twitter at pork_lion.
That's right. That's what you are on Switch as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You said
And
pork?
Pork.
lion.
PORK_lion. It was originally going to be loin, and then I misspelled it and realized that it was much better that way.
Oh, yeah, that is better that way.
And if you want to see me fall down for fun, you can follow Party World Wrestling
That's right.
and come out and see us on June 15th at Fourth Tap Brewery.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
cannot stress enough how much fun Party World Wrestling is.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
best
Yeah.
time. It's so much fun. There's cheap beer. Bring your friends.
And everybody there plays
great time.
Switch.
We really need to get someone to like suck off a game developer or something and get us a Switch game, because there are no wrestling games on the
That's
Switch.
true.
Yeah,
Okay, there
true.
is one, but don't.
Oh yeah, the
It's bad.
WWE.
It's fucking
yeah,
trash.
That one's really good. 2K19 or whatever, or 2K18.
What were you
Yeah,
gonna
don't
say,
get
Jordan?
that game.
Oh, I was like, talk to Devolver Digital, see if they can hook you
Oh,
up,
yeah.
man, because they
Yeah.
have that little corner. at
PWR
Full
would
Set,
make
too.
a great 16-bit
it'd be so much
wrestling
fun,
game.
yeah.
Anyway, you can catch me online at pretty much everything at Monolith Fiji.
And I'm on Twitter, Matthew, MATHYOU.
That's us. Follow us at Super Switch Heads. That's heads with a Z. Other than that, thank you everybody for listening. We're going to see you guys next week. Bye-bye.